This apartment is large enough to sleep in, but not large enough to live in. In Tokyo's smallest homes, the city itself finishes the floor plan. Every missing room, workspace, lounge, even the bath exists somewhere nearby, traded and rented by the hour. But what does it cost when private life dissolves into public space? A front door opens onto a space measuring just 8 square meters, barely wider than the reach of outstretched arms. In central Tokyo, this is not unusual. Developers have learned to maximize every centimeter, stacking micro-apartments, often between 7 and 9 square meters, on scarce land close to the city's busiest train stations. The logic is straightforward. Proximity to Shinjuku, Shibuya, or Akihabara commands a premium. For the resident, it means trading private square meters for a coveted address steps from the Yamanote line. The rent for these micro-apartments is lower in absolute terms than for a standard 1K or 1R studio. A Shinjuku micro-apartment rents for around 71,000 yen a month, while a conventional 1K in the same district averages 102,000 yen. But the price per square meter tells a different story, over 10,000 yen for a micro unit, compared to just over 4,000 yen for a 1K. This premium reflects not luxury, but access to transit, to nightlife, to the dense network of third places that complete the city's distributed floor plan. From a developer's perspective, the economics are clear. High land values, often exceeding 2 million yen per square meter, make it rational to build as many compact units as possible. Occupancy rates approach 99%, particularly among singles and young professionals. For Resident A, the decision is pragmatic, a smaller private footprint, but a daily life anchored in the heart of Tokyo. The living room, the office, the bath, each exists somewhere nearby, available when needed, purchased by the hour. The city itself becomes an extension of home, and the price of location is measured in square meters willingly left behind. A weekday morning begins with Resident A stepping out of an 8 square meter apartment and into the city's network of modular, pay-per-use domestic spaces. Breakfast and a quiet hour of reading happen at a neighborhood cafe, where a seat and a coffee cost between 800 yen and 1,200 yen. For many, this replaces the kitchen and dining area left behind in favor of a smaller home. The cafe is not just a place for food, but for lingering, working, or meeting friends, a living room by the hour. By late morning, work shifts to a co-working space. With monthly memberships averaging 20,000 yen, these hubs offer high-speed internet, desks, and meeting rooms. For Resident A, this is the office that the micro-apartment cannot provide. The co-working space is filled with freelancers, remote workers, and students, each trading private square meters for a flexible, communal workspace. After work, a visit to the Sento, a public bath, offers a different kind of comfort. Entry costs between 500 yen and 800 yen, granting access to communal bathing, relaxation lounges, and sometimes even saunas. In a city where many micro-units have only a compact shower or share facilities, the Sento stands in for the home bathroom and spa, reinforcing a long-standing tradition of public bathing. Laundry is handled at a coin laundromat, where a wash and dry cycle runs 500 yen to 800 yen. These facilities cluster near train stations and apartment blocks, serving as the city's distributed laundry room. When work runs late or privacy is needed, a capsule hotel offers a clean, private pod for 3,000 yen to 5,000 yen per night. Each venue fills a domestic role, collectively forming a citywide patchwork of outsourced home functions. For residents, the city's third-place economy is not an emergency solution, but a toolkit, each service used as needed, each cost weighed against the premium of living at the city's core. A spreadsheet opens to a single line: rent, utilities, and a column labeled third-place spend. For a typical micro-apartment in Shinjuku, the monthly rent is 71,000 yen. Utilities add another 10,000 yen. But the real calculus starts with the next figure: third-place spending. Surveys and transaction data from 312 residents show a median monthly outlay of 51,100 yen on cafes, co-working spaces, public baths, laundromats, and the occasional capsule hotel. Each line item is small: 15,000 yen for cafes, 20,000 yen for co-working, 5,600 yen for Sento, 2,300 yen for laundry, 7,200 yen for capsule hotels, but together they reshape the idea of a household budget. Analysts use a simple formula: micro-apartment rent plus third-place spend minus the rent for a conventional 1K unit in the same neighborhood. In Shinjuku, the 1K average is 102,000 yen. Plugging in the numbers, 71,000 yen plus 51,100 yen minus 102,000 yen yields a net monthly cost of 20,100 yen. The micro unit no longer looks like a savings. It becomes a premium paid for distributed comfort and proximity. The break-even point sits at about 31,000 yen in third-place expenses. Below that, the micro apartment offers a modest advantage over a traditional 1K. Above it, the extra spending on externalized domestic life erases the rent gap. Actual ledgers from residents reveal monthly extras reaching 75,200 yen, especially for those who rely heavily on pay-per-use amenities. For the majority, the city's third-place economy is not just a convenience, but a recurring line in the personal ledger, a system of modular costs that quietly redefines what it means to afford home in central Tokyo. 17% of disposable income, on average, is now allocated to third-place spending among Tokyo's micro-apartment residents. This figure represents more than a budget line, and it signals a steady cognitive load woven into daily life. Each outsourced meal, bath, or workspace requires a series of micro-decisions. Which cafe offers the right atmosphere, whether the Sento is crowded, and whether the co-working space has a free desk. Over time, this constant need to navigate and schedule fragments the sense of home into a set of transactions, each one demanding attention and choice. Resident A, who once hosted friends for dinner in a larger apartment, now declines invitations. The 8-square-meter unit cannot accommodate more than one guest comfortably, and the city's pay-per-use venues, while abundant, are rarely suited for private gatherings. Hosting shifts from a spontaneous act within 4 walls to a logistical exercise involving reservations and shared public space. Privacy, too, becomes porous. The city offers anonymity, but the rhythm of moving from cafe to laundromat to Sento means personal routines unfold in view of others. There is no single door to close on the world, just a series of thresholds negotiated daily. Decision fatigue emerges as an ambient cost. The freedom to choose among countless third places is offset by the mental work of planning, budgeting, and adapting to shifting environments. For some, this modular lifestyle offers stimulation and flexibility. For others, it can translate into a subtle, cumulative strain, a sense of being always on the move, always calculating, never fully at rest. Loneliness is not a simple function of square meters, but of how often comfort and connection must be purchased, and how rarely the city's living room can be made truly one's own. Tokyo's comfort with distributed living runs deeper than economics or zoning. Compact homes are not a recent invention here. After World War II, the city rebuilt with single-room apartments and narrow wooden houses, shaping generations who viewed small private quarters as normal. Bathing, too, has long extended beyond the home. Sento, or public baths, have anchored neighborhoods since the Edo period, offering both hygiene and social connection. Resident A's morning visit to the Sento is less a workaround than a continuation of this tradition. Etiquette codes, quiet, cleanliness, and respect for shared space make such communal routines frictionless. The city's infrastructure supports this modular life. Cafes, laundromats, and co-working spaces cluster within a few minutes' walk of nearly any apartment, especially near train stations. The station city model, where daily needs are stacked above or beside transit hubs, reduces the time and effort needed to outsource domestic routines. In Tokyo, the boundaries between home and city have long been porous, shaped by a history of spatial compression and collective amenities. Seoul, Hong Kong, and New York each offer their own version of distributed living, shaped by distinct pressures and patterns. In Seoul, the average micro-unit measures 12 square meters, with monthly rent around 35,000 yen. Residents navigate a network of 24-hour study cafes, Jjimjilbang bathhouses, and co-working hubs, but third-place spend remains lower, about 35,000 yen per month, partly because micro-units are slightly larger and shared amenities are subsidized. Hong Kong's nano-flats compress private life even further, often to 10 square meters, with rents averaging 45,000 yen. Here, the third-place economy is built around multi-story malls, food courts, and gym-style showers, but the cost of externalized comfort rises to 45,000 yen per month, reflecting the city's extreme land scarcity and market-driven service pricing. In New York, micro-studios typically span 15 square meters at a rent of 40,000 yen, with third-place spending near 40,000 yen. Residents rely on co-working memberships, laundromat pods, and a growing network of public baths, but the city's distributed living remains a niche, shaped by zoning rules and cultural expectations. Each city adapts the logic of modular domesticity to its own constraints, but the balance of space, cost, and comfort is always context-specific, never a universal formula. Today, Tokyo's distributed living blurs the line between private and public space, redefining comfort as something assembled across a city. As modular housing and third-place economies expand worldwide, the meaning of home becomes less fixed, shaped not just by walls, but by the infrastructure we choose to inhabit. What does home mean to you?